Hi, welcome to Simmery P. Today I'd like to share a video on my pasta sauce that's super creamy and super easy, but it has no milk. I'm using oat milk. I've finally perfected a creamy pasta sauce that's lactose free. So if you'd like to see my sun-dried tomato pasta with oat milk, come with me and let's see. So the first step of our pasta sauce today, we're going to make a version of a bechamel sauce. 3 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of margarine, or if you prefer, you can use butter if you don't want to make it lactose free. So this is a quick dinner idea for 2 people. So once that butter's melted, then I'm going to add some flour. Today I'm using oat flour. Flour's been quite tricky to get here in the UK this last few weeks. So I've been using oat flour. So I'm just grinding rolled oats and getting oat flour. So I've got 1/4 cup of oat flour and I've added 3 teaspoons of corn flour. And this is what's called making a roux, R-O-U-X. So we're just going to cook that off for roughly about a minute. It's to just get the floury taste away. So the next step is we've got our oat milk here. I'm using 500 mils of oat milk that I've measured out. And we're just going to gradually add a little bit of milk at a time. And I'm constantly stirring it with my whisk just to ensure that there's no lumps. I'll just take it back off the heat again. And we just need to add a little bit more and just keep mixing. Yeah, the trick is not to add all your milk at once. You just need to do it gradually. Once you think you've got the consistency under control, you can swap over from the whisk and start using a wooden spoon. Now we're going to add a little bit of flavour. So I like to always put a little bit of nutmeg, just a sprinkle, one of my mum's tips, some salt, and we'll use a little bit of pepper. And one of my secret is a little bit of Dijon mustard, but not completely necessary. If you've watched my mac and cheese with oat milk, it's a very similar sauce. So I'll just pop the link up there if you want to watch my mac and cheese with oat milk. And if you want to be completely dairy-free, vegan-friendly, yeast flakes. Or you can use grated parmesan cheese, whatever you like. So let's make it without any dairy today. So I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons into my sauce. I've just got my cooktop on the lowest setting because we don't want to overboil the milk to burn it. The other flavouring I'm going to add today, white miso paste, not completely necessary, but it gives that little bit of oomph and, if I can say it correctly, the umami flavour. So I've just put 1 teaspoon of miso paste in. So we've zoomed in for a close-up, so it's slowly getting a little bit thicker. So now our sauce is cooked. We're just going to set that to one side. So we're going to heat a little bit of oil in the base of our fry pan. I'm just going to use some olive oil, so just a splash of olive oil. And I've got 1 small red onion chopped up, so we're going to add that. And we just want to cook that until it's soft for a couple of minutes. So we don't want to brown our onion too much. Now we're going to add our garlic. Just 1 clove chopped up. If you like garlic and you want more garlic in there, you can add more than 1 clove. And we're going to start adding our spices. So I'm going to use a little bit of dried basil, just a sprinkle. I don't always measure things, I just do sprinkles and dashes, drizzles, and it's a bit different when you're baking. This is cayenne pepper, so I'm doing a sprinkle of cayenne pepper. Not too much, that's quite strong. So we're going to add a little bit more margarine to the base. And we're going to start adding our mushrooms. Now I like my mushrooms chopped finely. I think it just, when you're having pasta sauces, I don't like the vegetables to be too chunky. So I've just got some pre-sliced mushrooms here. I'm just going to chop them a little bit finer. In the meantime, I've got some water simmering behind me, ready for our pasta. It's always a good tip is to get the water hot, so then it's really quick to cook it. So let's just going to throw those in. So just want to reduce my mushrooms slightly. I'm just flinging my mushrooms everywhere. So the sauce is going to have mushrooms. We've got 2 types of tomatoes. I've got sun-dried tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, courgette or zucchini, and some parsley, fresh parsley. And I like to add a little bit of saltiness of the capers, but optional, you don't have to add that in. So the pasta I'm using today, it's called Troife, and it's like a little tiny, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a cut-off spaghetti that's been twisted. So it's quite fine, it's really yummy. I love the texture of it. So it's one of my favourite shapes. So it's Troifie. I'm just losing some mushrooms behind me. Okay, they're reducing in size. Now we're going to add our tomatoes. The steam is getting in my throat today. And we've got our sun-dried tomatoes as well. And then I'm going to add my courgette. Okay, now we're going to add our sauce. So this is our bechamel sauce that we did before. So we're just going to add that to all of the veggies. Our water behind me is bubbling away, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt to my water. And we're going to cook our pasta. So I've got half a packet, which is 250 grams, and I need to cook it. Cottura 10 minuti. I'm learning Italian, so I'm trying to practice. So I'll pop that in. And we just need to keep an eye out and stir it. Got this fancy pasta tool. You seen one of those? So I've got half a pot of boiling water here. So I'm just going to pop my timer on. 10 minuti or 10 minutes. That sauce is looking really good. Okay, we'll add the capers now. So 2 teaspoons of the capers. And just before we're serving, we'll add the parsley because I don't want to cook out the green colour because I like the freshness of the green to pop. So our pasta's cooked. I've just drained the water off. And dinner's just about cooked. So we'll just mix that through. And look at that. This looks delicious. So let's just now add our parsley to the top. So if you've liked my video today, let me know, hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos with oat milk, pop a little note in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you've enjoyed what you've seen today and you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on when my next videos are released. Anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye. Back again. Forgot the taste test. Got a fork. Let me just taste this before I serve it. Probably going to be too hot. I'm just going to grab a mushroom and a sun-dried tomato. I love the texture of the vegetables, chopped finely and small against the pasta. Great balance of flavours. You can tweak it to make it your own, but this is my version. So I'll say goodbye again. See you next time. Bye.